Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So tonight I'm just walking around at night and I'm going to be comparing the night mode for the vivo X80 Pro and the Realme GT2 Pro. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting comparison considering that, of course, Realme and Vivo, both of them are under the BBK Electronics umbrella along with Oppo and OnePlus. So yeah, they're all pretty much like sister brands to one another. So essentially, the Realme GT2 Pro is BBK's cheapest flagship, and the vivo X80 Pro is BBK's kind of like most decked out flagship. So it'd be interesting to see like how they compare against one another, especially when it comes to night mode. It's probably the one defining factor for a lot of newer smartphone releases. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, I'll be showing you guys a bunch of photos and video samples after this, and I'll share with you guys my final thoughts and opinions at the end of the video. So just to show you guys, this is how dark it actually is. Obviously you can't really see much. You can just kind of see a bunch of street lights, and that's about it. You can't really see anything, and it's actually this dark. But of course, with night mode, it looks, completely different. Okay, so looking at all the photos compared side by side, I think we can all agree that the vivo X80 Pro does take brighter night mode photos than the Realme GT2 Pro. But the difference by how much brighter it is and how much better the photos are isn't as big as I thought it would be. I would say for most scenarios where it's not as challenging, the photos are pretty much like 95% identical, apart from some like differences. The most notable ones being that when it comes to the Realme GT2 Pro, it doesn't quite handle like highlights and exposure as well as the vivo X80 Pro. So for things like lamps, street lights, and like neon signs, the vivo X80 Pro handles that much better. It doesn't really blow them out, and you can see way more detail than the ones on the Realme GT2 Pro. And of course, when it comes to ultra wide shots, I think the GT2 Pro shots are like, while they are bright, they're not as bright as the vivo X80 Pro, and there's a bit more noise. But apart from that, I feel like the images are actually pretty much like 95% similar. And I would say that I'm really impressed by the capabilities of not just the X80 Pro but also by the GT2 Pro. I think it's it's really impressive for a device like a flagship device that costs 50% less than other flagship devices out there. It holds its ground really, really well, and I'm really impressed by, I guess, both BBK electronic devices, and I don't think you can really go wrong with either. There's also some slight like difference in color temperature. I think for the GT2 Pro, it's quite obvious that in a lot of shots it's a lot warmer than the X80 Pro, and some people might not find it as appealing. Personally, both phones actually have more of like a warm color science, and I mean, of course, you can always just kind of like tweak it with some filters, but just so if you're someone who prefers like cooler tones, these might not be the devices for you. But personally, I think the X80 Pro handles color temperature pretty well. I don't think it's warm, but it doesn't really get to the point where it looks like too red or too orange, like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, for example, which makes everything have this like unappealing like orange or like yellow tint when it comes to night mode. But yeah, that aside, both devices really good when it comes to night mode, and I think you can't really go wrong with either depending on which kind of like price range you're shopping in. So yeah, do let me know in the comments, what do you think of these photos out from the GT2 Pro and the X80 Pro. And also, like, do you plan on getting any of these devices? Particular video is a bit shorter than some of the other comparisons I did, because I've noticed from the analytics you guys do prefer the shorter videos, so I'm kind of catering to that. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, until then, this is it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.